it felt like he went a little swan, like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and I remember walking into the restroom, I was like, that motherfucker taller than what I thought. You know what I'm saying? So you did play ball. Yeah, I had scholarship.
We'll do something called the
Okay. Yeah, that's one reason I stuff up. I love how you try to blame it on them. They kick me out of the league. You know what I'm saying? So like, put hands on somebody. Did you feel when you get kicked out the school, or when you're thinking about basketball, what did you feel at that moment? Did you feel like, you know, that sometimes like, damn, that's over?
Yeah, I felt like my first thought was, anyway, don't let my father find this out. You know what I mean? Like, let me get transferred or something.
Try to do some this and that.
Like, try to get to another campus or something before my pops found out. But I was able to hold it down for a while. Shouts to my mom. She held that down.
Hell yeah. She knew Pops was going to be on your ass.
I was getting killed.
You know, it's hell of a when moms are like, yeah, but it's
I came back to New York, worked out for a while. I was just playing like Dykeman, Hunter College. And then I got a scholarship.
Yeah.
Like, let me get transferred or something.
Try to do some this and that.
Like, try to get to another campus or something before my pops found out. And I was able to hold it down for a while. Shouts to my mom. She held that down.
Hell yeah. She knew Pops was going to be on your ass.
I was getting killed, man.
You know, it's hell of a when moms are like, yeah, well, this is what we're going to do, look. You know?
Yeah, and she said, now look, you know how that's going to go. December, man, mama held that down. But I went there. I came back to New York, worked out for a while. I was just playing like Dykeman, Hunter College. And then I got a scholarship to Towson in Baltimore. Went there for a year, and I got in some trouble. I got caught with a gun. You know what I'm saying? So I had to do a little time out there in Baltimore City. And during that time is when I first got introduced to Islam. First got really focused on what I wanted to do when I got out. I knew ball was over. I knew just being on campuses with the alumni and all the politics that go into that.
You knew that.
I'm like, man, I can't go to another campus with this record. So I just focused up on rap. I always loved rap. You know what I'm saying? I always could quote everybody rhyme, stuff like that, but I never saw myself doing it. Everybody always was pushing ball on me. You know what I mean?
So then when you didn't have ball, it pretty much was like, was it might as well, or did you like, nah, okay, I feel this?
It was like, what can I do that I'm going to love to wake up and do? You know what I mean? Because I love to wake up and play ball. I love to wake up, go to the gym, see who balling for the day. I used to love that. So I was like, I can't go get no regular 9 to 5. I'm not, that's not what I like. So what can I do that's going to, you know, not only take care of me and mine, but I'm going to enjoy it. And I figured that if I sacrifice a few years of really being down, like, you know, like going through it, you know, figuring out how I'm going to eat, all of that, if I could sacrifice a few years of that and put it into my craft, that's exactly right.
And you know, how do you figure out to eat? Because you know what I'm saying? It's one thing to say this is what I'm doing now, but it's totally different when you're not really making bread off
of it. In that position.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole world there's still bills, there's still food, there's still responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? So then that gives you kind of a this and that. Like, damn, I got to do this. You know what I'm saying? But I need to keep doing that as well. How did you get a balance on before the money started coming in?
I tell people all the time, it took me at least 4 or 5 years to make $1 off rap. Like $1.
You don't see
Never got paid for a show. Nobody was asking me, yo, what you charging for features? It was like at least strong 4 years of not a penny.
How did that keep you going when you didn't see? You know, especially when we come from a like pay me now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even talking about music. I'm talking about just like
that was super tough, bro. Like I had, you know, shouts to my homies at that time. Cause I had a few homies that was like tripping. I mean, cause a bunch of times I was like, man, this ain't, you know what I'm saying? This ain't about the
That's all I'm gonna ask you.
A few times that crossed my mind. And I would say right before my daughter was born, like not even before she was born, once I found out her mom was pregnant, she was like, yo, this is what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's what made me say, you know what, I gotta knock it. Cause I can't drop what I've been doing all this time and then try to get a regular job.
Yeah. You had too much in.
It's like I done put too much time. 10,000 hours you was talking about. Like I done put too much time and this something gotta happen and then out the blue. I wanna say out the blue because me and Jungle had a real close, just me being open. But God signed me, man. You know what I mean? That was insane.
Amen.
Right when I was about to go along. Like, come on, man.
You ever seen that meme or whatever where dude is like chopping underground through the
Oh, yeah.
Was that the wall?
Mad close.
yeah, and the diamonds were on the other side. Like Nas was right there on the other side.
I have no idea.
How did you and Nas, how did those paths cross? Because Nas is God, you know what I'm saying? And that had to be an influence as well. You know what I'm saying?
He influenced me my whole, you know, ever since a kid. Like I said, like, right after Snoop, I was in tune with Esco. Like, that's what he was not, you know what I mean? But my aunt, I'm originally from Harlem, you know what I mean? But my aunt lived in Long Island City, Queens, you know what I mean? And you got like 4 projects over there. You got Queensbridge, you got Ravenswood, you got Astoria houses, and then you got Woodside. And they all like in walking distance. My aunt lived in Ravenswood, so I would walk to Queensbridge every day to go get Jamaican food, liquor, weed, whatever I was going on with the girls was over. It was just like Queensbridge is the biggest projects in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like it's 6 blocks, 96 buildings. It's its own world. You know what I mean? So I would be over there every day. All my homies from the bridge, like you know what I mean. And I would see Jungle, Nas brother. Or I never seen Nas until I signed with him.
Damn.
Wow.
My whole life, never seen him.
What was that like?
I got a glimpse of him. And in a car, somebody was like, yo, that was Nas. I'm like, just missed him, like, you know what I mean? And that was years ago, like, you know what I mean? So, I would see Jungle all the time. Like, Jungle would call him, bring me some cigarettes, bring me a Dutch, get a bottle, bring me a cigarette. Like,
Is Nas
me and Jungle was like, yeah, I'm like, you seen Nas lately? Like, but through that, me and Jungle got tight, and then now I'm doing these mixtapes. The streets is feeling it, all the people in the bridge is knocking it in the park, riding by, knocking it, playing it out the window. Jungle like that shoe? Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But you never pressed Jungle like, man, Nas needs you. That's probably why I was respected even more.
He brought it to me, and I was like, he was like, yo, my brother feel me. That's how he said it. I was like, you got a brother I don't know about?
Yeah.
The only brother I know, he can't be feeling me. Like, you serious? Like, he was like, nah, I was in LA, you know what I mean, with Nas, and playing. He was all on YouTube going through all. And this is early. It's like 2014. Nas was checking it out, you know what I'm saying? So he changed my life. I tell him all the time, I'm in debt to him forever.
Yeah, stop telling him that.
You know what I mean?
Do you?
Yeah, stop telling him that.
He got me out them jacks.
Yeah, he gonna wanna cash in on it. Yeah, don't
send that invoice.
Yeah, you're right. Here's the invoice.
Do you recall that actual moment when you met Nas? What was that like?
Yeah, 100%. His manager called me.
Oh, okay, you want me to email it to you? Alright. Alright. So they did send you the resume? Let's see, we talked about it. You told me, you remember that was the last thing we said? You was about to for you. You funny. That was the last thing we said. We was one to tell them about me yet. But, it don't really matter. They actually didn't even mention nothing like that. I mean, they did, but they didn't for real. Like, I ain't say nothing crazy. I know, I took it off. I just did it off. And I didn't even say you was like a referral, like, I mean, so. I said I know you. I said that, right? Yeah. That's what I said. Mm-hmm. 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 I don't think it was done. Right. Right. It's alright. We'll see how it goes. Mm-hmm. Alright. Talk to you later. Yeah, I think I'm gonna win tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Uh,
the quality of play there is terrific. The talent level in the W. Gaining some tricks on how they play the game. And also keeping so what it is the classic part of this game. Fantastic. They've been a step ahead of the defense since the opening. On the free throw, oh good. Takes great pleasure slicing and dicing one of the best passes in the game. One. That's the Laker final.
Come on, AD. The shoulder hurt.
This is why we get a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our It's Gobert with the ball for the Utah Jazz. They trail by 11. Here's Conley. As a shot blocker, he can block your shot in all three levels. And guys, at this point, his prime. And we're talking about Anthony Davis. How do you even put into words what he is able to do on the basketball court? I mean, he's having a conversation among the best of all on a nightly basis, dominating in so many facets of the game. It's remarkable. They have
what was going on, and then maybe like a week after that phone call, Nas was in New York. He was doing a premiere for what was it? Illmatic, the 25th, and like a documentary or something, Illmatic. And I met him that night. You know what I'm saying? He was on the red carpet taking mad pictures with people, and I was standing behind him, and he keep like between pictures, he like, yo, we out in the studio. Like, yo, I love your whole shit. He just like putting the battery in my back. I'm like, nah, I ain't on the carpet with Nas right now. Like, you know what I mean? And then from there, me and him just we built. You know what I mean? I started getting in the studio with him, going to dinner with him, all that type of stuff. And like, we just created a relationship where it ain't really about rap.
Yeah, that's definitely earned and not given either.
Yes.
Because you know what I'm saying? Because Nas, he don't just hand that out.
At all.
You know what I'm saying?
Does an early cosign from Nas build more pressure on you or relief?
Relief.
Really?
How so?
It was a relief to me. I mean, the world might be like, oh, that's Nas's artist. He got I was out of the worst predicament I could have been in, and I knew I had the guard behind it. Like, so as long as I stayed on a certain track, I know he gonna support it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you definitely had to be ready and ready.
The world can catch on later. You know what I mean? But for now, I'm like, nah. I got his support. I got his belief. That meant a lot to me.
Hey man, with so many years, you know what I'm saying? And now we say debut album. Does that sound crazy? that after all this, and then do you ever think, Dave, like how much we missed or how much we didn't pay attention to?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, man, I've been giving it to y'all for years. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like you know what it is? It's timing, man. Timing plays a part in everything, because for all the people that might have missed what was going on, I feel like the project I just dropped, you know what I'm saying, like, will make you go check that out.
Yeah,
Survival.
To make you see what brought me to this point, why I'm talking like this now.
And I do have to ask, you know, and the title is so simple, but it's gotta have a lot behind it.
Yeah.
Why did you name your debut album Survival?
I feel like that's what we all do. You know what I mean? Till you get to $1 billion. You know what I mean? Like, we all out here surviving. And I feel like all my projects leading up to that spoke on how I was feeling at the moment. Like, I had a project called
And going by Kuzma.
Was how I was feeling at the moment. The titles reflected my thoughts, how I was feeling, and I feel like Survival is all of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's all of that in one. So my album is based on me before Davies. You know what I mean? Like, before the world knew who I was, before Nas knew me. I'm speaking on that them times, because I feel like those are the times that people don't see. Those are the times people don't hear. They just see you famous. They see the headlines, and then they think that's who you are. So I wanted to kind of break down how I got to this point with a kid that's somewhere knocking in and figuring out, man, how can I like Davies? How can I get it there? Like, you know what I mean? I wanted to break that down. Like, I went to school.
Hey, D.
My mom used to wake me up, so I had to go through all
Glad
this.
I missed you.
Know what I'm saying? Like,
I ain't missed that.
break all of that down.
You know what I like about Survival? It's like a story.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And you get narration. And the one thing that I enjoy that we miss a lot too is penmanship.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And even past projects where like there's groups, and not to take anything away from a group, but sometimes with a group, all you needed was that. All I need is that one verse. Then this person come with theirs, they come with theirs. You know what I'm saying? But you always, aside from collaborations, it's just been you. You know what I'm saying? So even when you hear Survival, you will hear collabs, but you will hear where it's mighty penmanship. And when you got to your debut album, no matter what you had before that, you didn't get lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, preparing, what's the difference between so-called mixtapes? Because the mixtapes was projects, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
and a debut album like Survival.
The focus, the me paying attention to detail was a lot more with this one. You know what I mean? I record a lot, so it's nothing for me to have 30 songs. All right, let's pick the hottest 15, put a title on it, and put it out. You know what I mean? But with this one, I wanted to. What really put me in my bag was going to listen to all of my favorite artists' first album, from the old school to the new school. So I went knocked Kendrick, Kid Mad City. I went Bleed, 50, Get Rich or Die Trying, Snoop Dogg, Style, Nas, Right. I played everybody's first album just to kind of see where their energy was at. Like, what time was you on when you knew this was your debut to the world? Because regardless how many mixtapes I put out, you know, that album is like, all right.
And that's what we say too, man. It's like for those who know, they know.
Right.
And for those who don't, this is an introduction.
Yes, and
you know what I'm saying?
I wanted that intro to be solid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wanted to be solid.
And then like with Primo as well. And let me tell you, man, when you hear that for some reason, I felt Guru.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I give them comparisons and recipes, dude. You know, he was another God talker, you know, but I get them comparisons.
Should have made the first
You know
one.
what?
I think it's my voice.
You know, but aside from the voice, because the voice, like, all right, but I'm talking about hearing you on Primo, it's just sound. I was like, damn.
Right.
And I was wondering, I was like, nah, he ain't channeling.
That's fire.
Yeah, but.
And coming from you, that's fire.
And the thing about it, man, you got to think that's another one with Primo. That's another one, like,
right.
that it's cherished, bro. Definitely. He's not giving that to Lil Hoopty Wop with this. It ain't happening.
And you know what's crazy? Swiss did that beat, so it's Swiss.
Wow.
See,
I got Primo's
oh, so that's even more texture.
I don't think they ever collabed before.
So it's just Primo cutting it and oh, so that's Swiss.
And then Swiss made that beat.
Man, that's a perfect marriage.
I just felt like that was like, without saying it, that's New York City.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in so many words, it's like, as soon as it come on, it's like, oh, you know where you know what I mean?
Why is it important to you to continue to stay lyrical? Because we're not getting a lot of that now. When you hear lyrical and whatever, you know, the same names come up.
Right.
Like I was talking with somebody today, and he was having, you know, whatever you feel about music today, but it's always Kendrick,
Same names, right.
it's J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? Why is it important for you to make sure
Ooh, that
that
was
lyric
pretty.
and delivery
Right.
that you stay tight?
I feel like my music gonna outlive me, my family, everybody. Like, your music gonna outlive everybody. So why not say something?
Mm-hmm.
Why not whoever listens to it down the road, like, why not make them think, like, man, we really was paying attention to his craft and what he was saying. Like, I'm not lazy when it comes to nothing that I'm representing. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be lazy with rap.
And then years down the line, somebody 5-10 years from now, 15 years from now, go and pick up your first album.
Yeah.
And be inspired.
First album to see what your vibe was on. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it really is really appreciated, to be honest. On Need a Sign, I
Smack my
really
man right
loved
in
how
the face.
vulnerable you were, and just
Yeah,
the
went
topic
back.
of what you were
Other
talking
night.
about. I feel that you've had a very interesting life. Do you recall moments where you really needed those signs, and were those signs answered to you, in which ways?
100%. I feel like too many times. That's my favorite record on the album. You know what I mean? But too many times, and that's my favorite record, and that was also the hardest record to write. You know what I mean? Just because of me tapping back into knowing where I was at. You know what I mean? Like, now it's like life is pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really wake up stressing nothing, but I can remember that. You know what I mean? Like, damn, how can I get out of this? Or how can I do this? Or how can I, you know what I mean? Like, and not having nobody to ask, knowing my mother ain't got it. Not even knowing my mother don't got it. Don't want to ask my mother, like, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm a grown man at 17. I thought I was grown, so I'm like, I won't ask her for nothing. There's nobody I can turn to for even advice, you know what I mean? Like, just for a convo, it was like, at that time, it was so much going on, and like I said, I thought I was so grown, you couldn't tell me nothing, you know what I mean? So a lot of times I would put myself in a bad predicament just from not listening, you know what I mean? Or not taking even what somebody told me. So, yeah, 100%.
It's crazy that you say I Need a Sign is like one of your favorites on the album.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody has that moment. And that was one that I wrote down as well. Because even just through life, like even with my ex, I remember like, God, I need a sign. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like business, I need a sign. This person that you're about to mess with, I need a sign. And I've had some, and it's crazy, bro, because I've made some of the biggest life decisions by saying those exact words. Give me a sign. And I remember one time, God was like, you ready for it? Because I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you that sign.
You don't know how it's going to come.
Yeah, and then it's like, boom, like, okay, here it is. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I channeled that to you, if I got to sue you or whatever, but yeah, I know you're not just getting all this stuff by yourself. All righty?
On that same record, you talk about your grandpops being an immigrant. What would you change in our immigration laws if you could?
Let them in, man. Like, stop. You know, it's like, I feel like the world should be free to roam. You know what I'm saying? Stop. You know, it's like, I feel like
because we're not getting a lot of that. I need a sign. This person that you're about to mess with, I need a sign. And I've had And it's crazy, bro, because I made some of the biggest life decisions by saying those exact words. Give me a sign. I remember one time, guy was like, "You ready for it?" I was like, "Give it to me." Okay, yeah, that's not. Yeah, it's like, boom, like, okay, here it is. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I channeled that to you, if I got a.
Hey, what's up? This is Anderson Paak, and I'm teaming up with Modelo, iHeartRadio, and the International Rescue Committee for Modelo's Fighting Chance concert series. Together, we'll help spread our message and support refugees, immigrants, and American.
Roam. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it should be free to roam. It shouldn't be no, oh, you got this or you cannot. If you are a murderer or something, you should be able to go anywhere. But, you know, other than that, if you just from another country, why not? Why not be able to come here and start a life for yourself?
Yeah,
if you
it's
want,
all man-made borders for real.
It's all man. None of this is God cutting off none of that. That's all people saying it. Like, you know what I mean? So, my grandfather was from Barbados. He worked on the Panama Canal. He snuck in the country. Went to Harlem. You know what I'm saying? And was running numbers on that tip. Like,
See, that's why we didn't want him here. No,
but real, yeah, you know, I come from that. Like, he really snuck in the country. You know what I'm saying? So, that created a different type of drive that he taught my father and that my father taught me, because he snuck in the country. So it's like, all right, if our family got to be about something. You know what I mean? We got to get to it. So I always had that drive to go hard. You know what I mean?
I gotta ask you just about your relationship with Nipsey Hussle. Man,
my brother.
And you know what? One thing, bro, is people spoke very well about Nipsey Hussle in life.
Right.
And I always say, Davies, that character is what's being said about you when you're not in the room.
Right.
And people said the most beautiful things in life. You know, after somebody passed, they were like, oh, you know, but you knew that Nipsey was special when Nipsey was here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there was just something about brother that just made you feel good. Everybody he spoke to, he looked right at you, very attentive.
Right.
He had time for everybody, bro. And I witnessed that before Nipsey passed. I knew how special he was, man. What was the relationship with you and Nip?
It was like deeper than rap. That's the best way I could really explain it. You know what I mean? I feel like I really don't even like to revisit it too much, because that's a loss that none of us can get back. Like, that void can't be filled. But I don't know, Nip just was real. It was no. He wasn't a rapper to me. He could rap, you know what I'm saying? He was super dope, but he didn't have none of the funny rapper, none of that to him. He was just 100%. He would ask me about my family, you know what I mean? My daughter, stuff like that, stuff that people don't ask you, you know what I mean? Like, most people ask you what's going on with your music, whatever you're doing. They would ask about Kyrie, you know what I mean? And he just gave me so much game. Like, being able to talk with somebody from the streets, we from the same, you know, we just from different coasts, but we come from the same type of environment. And being able to get so much game from somebody, it's like I was dealing with an old man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, real talk, like, he just had mad game, like, you know what I mean? Like,
And gave it to us too, though.
Very
And shared it, bro.
Very educated, spoke very, you know what I mean? When Nip talked, everybody listened.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there's only a few people ever that got that power, you know what I mean? And that don't got nothing to do with no money, nothing. It's about, you know, you felt like he knew what he was talking about, regardless of what the topic was. It just always felt like, I'm listening to Nip saying.
Why was it important to put The Marathon Continues on the album?
I had to.
And I mean, like, you know, that's a statement.
Yeah.
When you end with that.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? That the end, he was right here for that interview.
Yeah.
And I watched it the other
same
day.
Seat, same mic.
I cried like a baby once. I said, damn, you know, that's like. But me and Nip is recording. We was working on our own project, and I can remember him saying, "Cuz, we just gotta get Snoop on here. I don't want nobody else on this. Just Snoop. And we were just gonna feature Snoop on the tape." And I sent him a song. I did a record called It was called Back to LA. And the last time we spoke, he said he had just built a studio And he sent me pictures of the studio. He was like, as soon as I get the board and everything up, that's gonna be the first thing I record. And he didn't get to send it back. But I wanted to do something like, knowing he was gonna be on the album and knowing he was, we were so kind of invested in each other's whole everything. I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to put something on there where it was like, everything I wish I could have said, like how much he inspired me. Just the gems he gave me and how I navigate through this with him. I still hear Nip talking, like, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to like highlight him. Like I wanted to wrap the album up like that and just highlight him.
It's so well written too, though, bro. So well written, and not just because, when Nip passed, it was crazy because I was like, man, it was so much on social media, and then I saw pictures, and I was like, man, this dude stopped down and took a picture with everybody. It seemed like everybody had a personal story, and not just the big boys and the Davies of the world, but it was like, and he gave everybody time, man, and I think that's what hurt so much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if somebody got pinched for every time I think about Nip, you be like, damn, you think about him again? The same way if somebody got pinched every time, you be like, damn, like, it's constant.
I can't come to LA no more. Like, it feel weird out here. Every time, like, and this is maybe my 4th or 5th time since he passed coming out here, but this ain't never.
Especially when you got used to something.
This is weird out here.
Like, I can't go, like, I don't purposely pass by the store. You know what I'm saying? Like how some people would go there. I remember I went one time at like 3-something in the morning, but it was like when everybody, it was for me. But as far as I can't just like, I gotta roll past. I gotta roll past. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a different texture.
I went over there one time, sister, because I didn't get to make it to his funeral. I didn't even want to see him like that.
Yeah.
But I went over there one time. He used to drink that Bel Air with me. He liked 1942, so I bought a bottle of 1942. In the last, like, I was with him at the Double Up video in Malibu, and the way I smoke, I roll Fonto leaf with the paper. You know what I mean? And he was like, "Roll me one of them blunts. How you be rolling?" And I rolled one and left it in the parking lot with a bottle of 42 for him. You know what I'm saying? I just sat down in the parking lot, smoked one, and just embraced it because I met him in that parking lot. That's where I met him at. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Fats.
Yeah.
Nip wasn't even at the store yet. He was like, "Fats in the store. He gonna get you right, cuz I'll be there in like 30 minutes." And I was in the store chilling with Fats and Sam the first time I met him. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I always wondered. I would ask Nip, like, man, how do you make money here?
You give away everything.
You go in there and be like, yeah, hey, bro, take this.
Take over, get my daughter right, my mama got
Such a good dude, man. The marathon continues for real. It's not just words we say, bro. Davies, I thank you for that time too.
How did working on the Wu-Tang series impact Survival?
I think it made me really like focus, because I had to put like the Wu-Tang filming was so time demanding. I wasn't used to nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't used to, you gotta be on set 5:45 a.m. and we gonna be here till 11 p.m. Like I was like, oh yeah, this is all day. Like all right, so I had to get used to that. So my studio time was limited. You know what I mean? So I would say before I be in the studio 6-7 hours, I might bullshit an hour or two off, be on my phone.
Yeah.
Now I know I'm gonna get there at 1 a.m. and I gotta be back on set by 5 a.m. I got 4 hours, 3 hours to try to create something, because I done already told Def Jam I'm doing this album. You know what I mean? So it made me really focus on them songs I was making, because my time was limited as far as recording.
Did you have to audition to do the Method Man thing?
Yeah, I auditioned twice.
That's crazy.
You know, I was at BET and I had asked Method Man like why he picked you, and he goes, "Oh no, he picked me."
Right.
What does that mean when you hear that?
It was like it plays into everything else. You know what I mean? Like Nas signed me. You know what I mean? My favorite rapper is Styles P. And the album was Styles. You know what I mean? Like, so just like the heights I wanted to reach, of course everybody want to go platinum, #1 on them. But the things I wanted to do, like getting in, or the things that I couldn't even fathom is happening. Like, you know what I mean? Or it has happened. So to get Method Man's blessings on that was like, yo, this is crazy. Not like, because I didn't want to just get the role and don't meet with Meth. You know what I mean? Like I wanted him to be like, yo, I'm glad you playing me. Like, you know what I mean? So that was priceless, bro. Like Meth, another one that's, I looked up to forever.
Would you do it again? And I don't mean again because that's a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's one thing about man, I make music.
Right.
I know I can write. I know I can do this. But then when you go in and it's somebody else's time, you gotta respect the other, the other actors. You gotta make sure that you locked and loaded on your lines. You know what I'm saying? Blocking, like, it's a lot of
no
stuff.
time for
And people don't think like continuity and cameras and this. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I say, "Would you do it again?" You was like, "Yeah, I'll do it again."
Yeah, it's worth it.
That's a different discipline too.
It's a different discipline, but it's the when it come out, you sit back and you watching it, and you seeing the feedback from the streets, from the people. It's worth it.
How do you balance all this and be dad too?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And how old is your little one? She's 3?
Yeah. She get, it's whack because she gets the least amount of time.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Regardless of what the world see on the gram and all, like, she get the least amount of time, and that bothers me every day. But I realize that I look at it like this, right? She 3. I don't want to do this forever. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do this forever, and I want to be able to do enough in it the way I can set my life up forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't mind sacrificing that little time right now. She see me, all the time, but it's still, I wish I could be with her more. I wish she could be sitting here at this interview, you know what I mean? But I don't mind sacrificing these early years to create something where by the time she's 10, 11, 12, 15, I could be all the way on deck.
These days for
tomorrow. I can give her all my time at them years, you know what I mean? And it could be something that I could be happy about. I don't want to be 45, 50, and be trying to figure out how I'm going to be handling my daughter, you know what I mean? I want that to already be locked and loaded.
Was making Daddy Knows emotional for you?
Very. Yeah, she was in the studio.
Yeah.
It was what made it weird? Like, I wasn't smoking. It was like one of them vibes.
You didn't have her grab the bag and smell like white cheese. What does it smell like? It's broccoli. Broccoli, blood.
Nah, she ain't smell no loud, man. But yeah, that's what it was a little different. You know what I mean? And then trying to get her to not talk, like, to be quiet while I'm recording. She in there, that's going crazy in the studio. So
now you got to pay her too.
I'm like, Kyrie, let that rap real quick, like, you know what I'm saying? So, but that was fun. That was just that experience in itself. I feel like that's one of them records, when she gonna get older, it's gonna make her cry.
It's crazy how we thought we were doing so much before.
Right.
For whatever reason. Like, man, I gotta get in, I gotta get on.
Right.
And then when you have your child,
change everything.
Yeah, and it's a different kind of hustle.
Change everything.
You know what I'm saying?
It don't, like, I don't get tired.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I mean? I feel like, I might not see her all day, but by the time I get home, she's asleep. And I just keep going in and kiss her while she's asleep, and I got to go home again. You know what I mean? Like, so she missed me the whole, you know what I mean? Like, and then there'd be other times where she might not see me all day, but then I could go get in the bed with her. So then when she wake up, I'm right there. Like, you know what I mean? So
special moments.
All that matters to me, bro. Like, more than all of this. Like, all this is dope. This is how I create a life for myself and my family. But at the end of the day, it ain't,
How important is that to take care of the family? Like, at one point, the family take care of you.
Took care of me. I feel like you're a sucker if you ain't got that mentality. Like, you watch your moms or your pops or your grandma, whoever raised you. It ain't got to be your parents. But you grew up to be a grown man or a grown woman, and you don't want to get them nothing back. You don't want them to chill for a minute. You're a sucker. Like, that's just my outlook on life. Like, my whole thing was, by the time I hit a certain age, I didn't ask my mother for nothing else. I didn't want nothing else from her, but her to just be my mom.
Right.
Like, but I ain't want nothing from her material-wise, or I wanted food. Like, Mom, can you cook this? I ain't want nothing else from her, you know what I mean? And now, she don't work. She chilling. You know what I mean? And now my pops is chilling.
How crazy is that?
All she want to do is, like Pusha T said, all my mother want to do is gamble.
You know what I love about that?
She
Go to a casino
That's
right
all she
now.
want to do. You know what I mean? And the fact that I can provide that, Mom.
And you know what's crazy is at one point we know we worried the hell out of them.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God.
And it could have been problems, but now it's profit. You know, and just having your parents, whoever it is, get a chance to see it through. And whatever you had to pay with, time here, homelessness here, you know what I'm saying? And you always, like, I was one too, Dave, that kept my foot. Like, I knew when I was messing up. You know what I'm saying? That I had to do this, and I had to do that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you sway certain ways, but I always knew that I wanted something. And I could see the times when I was messing up, but I could also see the times when I was disappointing my mom, too. You know what I'm saying? That hurt.
Like I said, I tell people, I said it on the album, like, I done seen my mother in court, sitting with me, watching me get whatever. I mean, like, I done seen that, so that them feelings don't go away, the memories don't go away. So, you know, I just got my first gold record. I mean, perfect went gold. To bring that home to my mother, like, hey, mom, like, look.
Is she a big fan?
Yeah.
She knows all the words?
She's my biggest fan.
That's dope.
I bring my mom.
That's a hell of an accomplishment.
She be on stage.
Because she saw other records. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's this record.
You know about them.
You know what this record.
Yeah, it felt good to disappoint them and then make up for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because she didn't told me, she said, for all them times you let me down, you made up for it.
But at the moment, it hurts.
You feel like it's over.
Because when you looking through the rear view mirror, it's like, oh, yeah.
Right.
But when you looking through the front windshield, it's like,
It's right when it's right, man. What?
You got some really cool parents, like your mom and your dad, and even your relationship with them. Like, I don't know where, I think I saw it somewhere on Netflix, I forget what special, but I just saw that dynamic and I was like, damn, like, they have such a beautiful dynamic and a beautiful relationship. Your dad is a real one. Do you see reflections of yourself now that you're a parent, of your parents, how you're like, damn, like, now I get it, like,
100%.
what are some of those ways?
My parents always loved me. You know what I mean? As simple as that sounds, like, that goes a long way. You know what I mean? Through whatever I was going through, like, I always knew. Even if I feel like my pops wanted to kill me, I was like, he loved me.
Yeah, he
you know what I mean?
wouldn't kill
Behind
me.
all of that, he'd kill me, but then he would do what he did, he would whip us all out, and then explain to us why he just did it. You know what I mean? That's love. You know what I mean? Like, there ain't nobody in the street gonna beat you up and then tell you why they did it to you. Like, they gonna keep it moving. So I understood from a youth, like, my parents loved me. And my dad thing was school. That was his whole thing. Do good in school, you good with me. Don't do good in school, you ain't good with me. Like, you know what I mean? So
when you got kicked out of school, you're like,
oh God.
man.
And then the thing that he told me to stay away from forever, you know, he always said, don't go to no jail. Like, jail ain't for nobody. Don't go to nobody's jail. Like, he used to always preach that. And then I go to jail. Like, you know what I mean? So it was like, I don't even want to talk to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I tried to avoid him for a few years, but I see 100% of that in how I am with my daughter, how protective I am, how much I want to just put a smile on her face. You know what I mean? Like, it don't even matter what it is. Like, as long as she happy about something, I'll be cool. And my parents used to be the same way with me until I got my own attitude, my own ways and all of that. But up to a certain age, my parents was cool.
When and how does the homelessness start for you?
My pride. You know what I mean? Like 18, 19. Like, but my pride, not realizing I can't live by putting me my mom's no more. You know what I mean? But I ain't got nowhere to go.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not living here.
I can't be here, but I ain't got nowhere to go. So, you know what I mean? I came with a few nights in the car. A few nights at my man crib, a few nights at this chick crib. You know what I mean? A few nights here, a few nights there, like that came.
How long was it?
Maybe a summer. Maybe a little longer. Maybe a little longer than a summer.
Hey, man, a week of not knowing where you going. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, because as a family, we were homeless a few times. You know what I'm saying? I mean, literally sometimes sleeping outside because we didn't have anywhere to go. But what that builds,
something different.
Man, it's so when you do get a little something, man,
cherish it.
And you never wanted to go again. And that's why some people say, man, why do you go? But I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm motivated by fear. I don't know what it is sometimes. I have a buffet of motivations, you know what I'm saying? But I know what it is to so-called have not and have none. You know what I'm saying?
That's a feeling, bro, that I feel like everybody don't go, especially people that get to a certain level in life, everybody don't go through that. And it creates a drive that nobody can take, that nothing can stop. You know what I mean? I can remember how that was. You know what I mean? And then if it wasn't that, I was in the projects with the water cold 3 days a week. We had to boil water, take baths, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's whack. So I was like, yo, as far as I get away from this, out of here.
And hustle, however the motivation is.
Out of here.
Like, for real.
But it made me, you know what I mean?
Does it trip you out that from what you doing now, that a lot of your family members have never experienced what you've been through? Yeah.
That is bugged out. You know what I mean? Just the the things I'm doing now. I'm the first person in my family to be famous. You know what I mean? Ever. Like,
they all famous now. You know when you
everybody famous.
I always knew it.
I always knew it.
So you say you the first one.
First
So it's not like hella in the bloodline, or I got a cousin that was.
I have no famous, nobody, no NBA players, no, you know what I mean?
How do you
NFL,
adjust to that?
I deal with the same family members that I've been dealing with. Or any new
You don't have no
cousins.
new.
extended aunties.
I don't know. I don't be trying to meet no new cousins, man.
You never had a new pop up at you at a show or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I got all types of new family members. Like, I'm your mama's this and that. I'm like, oh word. And I gotta ask my mother, who's this?
You know what you gotta do? What I do now too is I take a picture.
Right.
Because it's not me.
Right.
It's my wife's family.
Right.
Where people be like, oh yeah, I'm something. I'll be like, all right, send it to my wife. She's like, I don't know. Dave East Day going down in there. And also just real quick, man, we were talking about like homelessness and everything, man. And you made a comment, if I'm not mistaken, that it was sometimes you would be able to sleep at someone's house because of the way you look.
You know what's crazy with that? I think that was just taken different.
Oh, okay. Because
I
take it different.
A few of the chicks I was dealing with at the time had their own crib.
Yeah.
So it had to be something about me.
See, with me,
it was how I looked, but it was me.
It was all that. You know what I'm saying?
It was
With me, I would literally go to girls' house when I was home and be like, hey, can I sleep? They be like, get the fuck off me.
If you don't,
I'm like, dude, you got like 2 extra bedrooms and they be like, big, Kurt,
not for you.
Kurt, get your ass off my porch.
You gotta go over there like you're not staying. That's the trick.
But you know what? I was over like
for Netflix and chill, and then just spending the night.
I got to 500 pounds, so people knew that when I was there, I was there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a 500. You know what I mean? That's a lot of mass. You know what I'm saying? And then at 500, like it wasn't like I was hella smashable, and you know what I'm saying?
You didn't sneak in nowhere.
You was at least
Yeah, people are like, man, you know you can't stay the night here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you get that thing where people are like, oh, you broke Trevor's bed, and oh, you broke something. You know what I'm saying? So,
can never take the top lock.
I heard they like the big dudes when they get cold in New York.
Really though?
It's too hot over here. That's probably what it was.
Oh man, either it's too hot over here or I just wasn't hot enough. It was one or the other. Stop all that other shit. You wouldn't let me stay either.
You never asked.
So what now?
You never asked.
No, because I already was programmed.
Now you don't know.
But I met you after I lost the weight. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about when.
Technically, no.
But I was still in radio and I was doing well. Don't even bring it up. She came to like co-host the DJ thing when she was like 15.
Right.
But I was already on. You know what I'm saying? That's when everybody wanted to be around me. You know what I'm saying? Fat Kurt? No, nobody wanted to be around me. What's going on, baby? My bad. Sorry, that was personal. That was me.
It was all for you.
That was me.
I'm sure that doing time changed you in a lot of different ways. Did it change your perspective on mass incarceration?
That's whack. You know what I mean? That's just my outlook on it. And that always been my outlook on it. Like, just the conditions. You know what I mean? I feel like if jail is such a moneymaker for America or for whoever, for the government, you know what I mean? If that's because that's why they keep building them, because it's bringing money in. So if that's such a moneymaker, you know what I mean? Like, at least let it be legit. You know what I mean? Don't just be. Don't be just taking time from people from people's lives and putting them in the worst conditions ever, man. Like have them. You know what I mean? Like that shit is different in there. So I feel it's going it's gonna always be criminals. It's gonna always be people that should be locked up. You know what I mean? But the majority of the people that's locked up don't need to be in it. You know what I mean? And it's only people like Meek. Shouts to Meek. Meek is speaking on it, but there's only certain people that even voice that shit. Like. Why even talk about that? You know what I mean? Like, unless you go to jail and see it. Like, the average person out here living their life, they don't care because they don't know. And they not putting that on CBS and CNN. You don't see that. You know what I mean? So, I feel as though it's super whack. You know what I mean? And that it should be like a total investigation to the jails of America. You know what I mean? And how they being ran, who's in them, who's doing time they shouldn't be doing. Because that's what happened. And they just get paid. They're getting so much money off it, they don't care. You go 20, 30 years for some shit you never did.
Yeah, man.
And then come home. The proof come out, you didn't do shit. Then you come out and they want to give you some money. Like, yeah, this conversation 30 years of your life that you can't get back. No amount of money gonna get you that back. You know what I mean? So I feel like like it should be somebody should look into that. You know what I mean? I ain't never. Somebody should look into
Good dime, Coos.
How did doing that time change you personally?
Made me never want to go there again. You know what I mean? But it definitely put a different drive, put a different, on pointness to me. You know what I mean? Like up until that point, I was used to my mother's loving. You know what I mean? And shit like that. Like I wasn't used to that, where they don't care nothing about you. You know what I mean? So that changed me like a little bit, a lot. You know what I mean? But I just was able to. It wasn't that long. I was sentenced to a year. I did 6 months. You know what I mean? But
That's long enough for me.
that was
That
you know
long.
what I mean? But
Can you do? 6 months now? Get you out. I knew it was coming. But so you say you the first one. So it's not like hella in the bloodline. Or I got a cousin that was.
I have no famous, nobody, no NBA players, no. You know what I mean?
How do you adjust to that?
I deal with the same family members that I've been dealing with. Or any new
You don't have no new
extended aunties.
I don't know. I don't be trying to meet no new cousins, man.
You never had a new pop-up at you at a show or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I got all types of new family members. Like I'm like, mama's this and that. I'm like, oh word. And I gotta ask my mother, who's this?
You know what you gotta do? What I do now too is I take a picture.
Right.
Because it's not me.
Right.
It's my wife's family.
Right.
Where people be like, oh yeah, I'm Southern. I'm like, all right, send it to my wife. She's like, I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they going down in there. And also, just real quick, man, we were talking about like homelessness and everything, man. And you made a comment, if I'm not mistaken, that it was sometimes you would be able to sleep at someone's house because of the way you look.
You know what's crazy with that? I think that was just taken different.
Oh, okay. Because I did take it different.
The few of the chicks I was dealing with at the time had their own crib.
Yeah.
So it had to have been something about me.
See, with me,
That's how I look, but it was me.
it was all that. You know what I'm saying? With me, I would literally go to girls' house when I was home and be like, hey, can I sleep there? Get the fuck off.
If you don't,
I'm like, dude, you got like 2 extra bedrooms and they be like, babe, Kurt,
not for you.
Kurt, get your ass on my
You
porch.
gotta go over there like you're not staying. That's the trick.
But you know what I was over like?
Put Netflix and chill, and then just spending the night.
I was, I got to 500 pounds. So people knew that when I was there, I was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a 500, you know what I mean? That's a lot of mass. Just, you know what I'm saying? Then at 500, like, it wasn't like I was hella smashable, and you know what I'm saying?
Sneaking over.
You were just reasonable.
Then people like, man, you know you can't stay the night here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you get that thing where people like, oh, you broke Trevor's bed, and oh, you broke something. You know what I'm saying? So,
Never take the time back.
I heard they like the big dudes when it get cold in New York.
really though.
It's too hot over here. That's probably what it was.
Oh, man.
Bounce off that nigga.
Either it's too hot over
Nigga
here,
got
or
space
I just
cruising.
wasn't hot enough. It was one
He
of
came
them.
out balling this man.
Call it all shit.
He ain't gonna cook me like that, man. Still cook the team.
So when now, no, because I already was broke. But I met you after I lost the weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about when.
Technically, no.
But I was still in radio and I was doing well. Don't even worry. Yeah, she came to like co-host the DJ thing when she was like 15.
Right.
But I was already on. You know what I'm saying? That's what everybody wanted to be around. You know what I'm saying? Fat Kurt? No, nobody wanted to be around Fat Kurt. What's going on, baby? Sorry, that was personal. That was
What the fuck?
I'm sure that
He
doing
said,
time
fuck my
changed
assist.
you in a lot of different
Kuz
ways.
gonna put it
Did
up.
change
He
your
a carrier.
perspective on mass
Kuz a
incarceration?
carrier.
All that's why. That's just my outlook on it. That always been my outlook on it. Like, just the conditions. You know what I mean? I feel like if jail is such a moneymaker for America, for whoever, for the government, I mean, that's because that's why they keep building it. It's bringing money in. So if that's such a moneymaker, you know what I mean? Like, at least let it be legit. You know what I mean? Don't just be. Don't be just taking time from people's smoke this shit forever, man. Like, have them, I mean, like, that shit is different in there. So, I feel as though, you know, it's gonna always be criminals. There's gonna always be people that, you know, should be locked up. You know what I mean? But the majority of the people that's locked up don't need to be in there. You know what I mean? And it's only people like Meek. Shouts to Meek. Meek is speaking on it, but it's only certain people that even voice that shit. Like, why even talk about that? You know what I mean? Like, unless you go to jail and see it. Like, the average person out here living their life, they don't care because they don't. And they not putting that on CBS and CNN. You don't see that. You know what I mean? So I feel as though it's super whack. You know what I mean? That it should be like a total investigation to the jails of America. You know what I mean? Who's doing time they shouldn't be doing? Because that's foul. You know what I mean? And they just getting paid. They getting so much money off it. They don't care. You go to 20, 30 years for some shit you never did. Yeah, man. And then come home. The proof come out you didn't do the shit. Then you come out and they want to give you some money. Yeah, this conversation's 30 years of your life. That you can't get back. Get that back. No amount of money will get you that back. You know what I mean? So I feel like it should be somebody should look into that. You know what I mean? I ain't the one to do it, but somebody should really look into that because it's foul.
How did doing that time change you personally?
Made me never want to go there again. I know that. You know what I mean? But it definitely put a different vibe on it. Put a different, you know, on pointness to me. You know what I mean? Like, up until that point, I was used to my mother's loving. You know what I mean? Like, shit like that. Like, I wasn't used to that. They don't care nothing about you. You know what I mean? So that changed me like a little bit, a lot. You know what I mean? But I just was able to. It wasn't that long. I was sentenced to a year after 6 months. You know what I mean? But
That's long enough for you.
that was you know what I'm saying? But
Can you do 6 months now?
nah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I remember back in the day, I'd be like, oh, yeah, yeah, now you're like,
Like, I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, you got jail people. Like, people that's, like, that do that on a headstand.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't one of them dudes, man. Like, I got to be around some women.
Hey, this is Kenny, man.
You know what I mean? I got to be around some where I can live. Like, that ain't nowhere to live. Like, that ain't, you know, all you can do in there is get big.
are you in a relationship now?
It's complicated.
Go ahead. It's complicated.
Yeah, come on now, man.
Is there somebody watching this like, yeah, no, that's my man?
They all come in.
You already know, that's my man, that's my man.
It's I got real love for my daughter's mom. Like, I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. And I like when me and her good. It makes my world a lot better. You know what I mean? So we go through our battles and all that, but we good right now.
It must be hard to maintain a relationship though when you're traveling so much and having to spend so much. Like you were saying, like when you're working on Wu-Tang and then also your album at the same time, and you're still trying to balance being dad.
Right.
Like the lover part in you is like, where do you get the time?
You get that right? You know, I make it happen.
Yeah. You gonna fit that in somehow.
What kind of boyfriend are you?
I think I'm the coolest boyfriend on earth.
Hey, man, why is your homie back there laughing so hard
Wow.
at this?
Show them Is he almost crying from laughter?
Man. Hey, dude, you just sit back there smiling.
I said, what up, cuz?
What's my dude's name?
Oh, 2 games? Oh, streak? Violates the second. Shenanigans. Overrule. You can't overrule me. Sports? That's not me, Hank. But they're telling us it's time for a break. Back in a bit with more Hank and the Hornet. Really made those guys look like chump. Hey.